I was gonna say it'll be like one of the best weeks ever for setups, and your freaking Wi-Fi will be out,
I've had that happen to me mad times already.
bro. I've been in trades that are in $10,000 plus profit, and then the Wi-Fi goes out, and I can't close the position, and then I turn
Oh,
it back on, and the stop loss is hit.
fuck. Oh man. Yeah, those ones are gut punches, bro.
It's wild, man, how the universe works against you sometimes to try to stop you from leveling up once you've reached a certain like it's almost like the markets. You level up, then you pull back, then you level up, then you pull back, then you level up, then you pull back. It's like a rising equity curve in a sense.
Yeah, that's real, bro. Shit.
The wave of life.
What's up, gang? What's up, team? I see you all in the comments. Ron, we got some CyberX members. Paymail, what's up? Me and Aqua are honestly just going to start to, whenever we can, just start streaming. Just start streaming real information, whether it's we spend time in the CyberX Discord going through the research, whether it's we're breaking down our trades for the day, whether it's we're talking, market psychology, market fundamentals, just whatever. We're just going to try to start jumping on live streams with you guys more frequently and just sharing info. It's not going to be planned. It's not going to be scheduled. It's going to be whatever it is that we stumble upon. So hopefully you guys enjoy. Feel like more people will catch on as we go. Bro, I posted this video the other day. Did you see the last metal breakdown I did?
I was just watching that before I jumped on the call with Top Step to handle my situation, but I haven't watched the whole thing. You should share some of the juicy stuff in it.
Let's pay it.
Place in the credit union ecosystem, some of the biggest organizations in the credit union space hosting massive events, and how that correlates with the Metallicus ecosystem. And then we're also going to do a quick technical analysis update, taking a look at some levels to be mindful of that we're paying attention to here in the private CyberX community, utilizing our institutional software and taking a look at updates on some institutional dark pools and deltas. With that being said, if you guys enjoyed today's video breakdown and you're a Metallicus ecosystem member, do us that favor, smash that thumbs up button, subscribe. If you're new to the metal ecosystem, then pay very close attention because they are absolutely cooking in the credit union space and have been doing so as leaders in the credit union ecosystem for some time. Starting here with Arena Birkin's LinkedIn profile, the CFO and board member of Metallicus says, "My Boston area friends meet me at Harvard on Tuesday, March 17th, to talk about blockchain and hear from Marshall Hayner. Marshall Hayner, CEO of Metallicus, is pleased to take part in an invitation-only conversation at the Harvard Kennedy School organized by the Business and Infrastructure Caucus. As advancements in artificial intelligence, blockchain tech, and digital financial infrastructure fundamentally reshape global markets, governments and financial institutions face increasing pressure to reevaluate the architecture, governance, and trustworthiness of public systems. The discussion will convene key technologists and educators for an off-the-record, I like that, exchange focused on the evaluation of blockchain AI and the transformation potential of emerging technologies." So I'm definitely going to be looking forward to any highlights that we can gather from that event, especially considering that I am in the TDBN private community. With that being said, coming over here, look what we have here. Valera Live 2026. I posted this over on X, one of the biggest credit union events of the year. And guess what they will be talking about? Digital assets, specifically where they will be able to learn more about Valera's digital asset lab and a collaborative effort that moves beyond theory and into hands-on-chain experimentation, and learn how credit unions of varying sizes can participate without taking on the legal or financial risk. Keep in mind that Metallicus was the first digital asset lab partner. And also, considering these ongoing happenings with the credit unions, remember what Senator Cynthia Lummis said just the other day on a podcast with Arena Birkin. She specifically said, "I have found the credit union approach to be embracing digital assets and using them to augment the offerings of financial products to their customers to be far more friendly toward digital assets than banks." Mr. Aquaman over here on X posted a little snippet of this X podcast. Take a second here and listen.
one of the things that Arena said that made me happy was her work with the credit unions. And I have found the credit unions approach to embracing digital assets and using them to augment the offerings of financial products to their customers to be far more friendly to digital assets than the banks. And the truth of the matter is, digital assets bring a whole new product line to both banks and credit unions that they can incorporate into their current business models.
And they are indeed incorporating them into their current business models. Taking you guys over here to the Valera website. For those of you all who are not too familiar with what Valera is, let me zoom in on this. It says here, Valera is the nation's premier payments credit union service organization, or CUSO for short, and an integrated financial technology solutions provider with over 400, that'd be crazy, with over 4 decades of industry experience and a commitment to service excellence and innovation. The company serves more than 4,000, that's crazy, that's where I was getting that 4,000 number from, financial institutions throughout North America, operating with velocity to help its clients keep pace with the rapid momentum of change and fuel growth in the new era of financial services. And keeping in mind with what Senator Cynthia Loomis just said about how credit unions are adopting this technology far more efficiently than banks are right now, well, they are for a fact. Coming over here and just taking a look at what the Valera 2026 agenda consists of, and this is taking shape April 13th, 2026, this event. For anybody that is interested, you guys can come up to the website, you can register. But more interestingly enough, coming down here and seeing what they're going to be discussing and talking about, it says right here, digital assets in the future of currency, tokenized deposits, stablecoins, blockchain. And this is going to be hosted by Nathan Meyer, the senior innovation strategist at Valera. When you click on this, just reading thoroughly through it, it says, what's your stand on digital assets? For credit unions, the question is no longer if digital assets matter, but how to evaluate them responsibly, collaboratively, and in alignment with a cooperative value. In this session, we'll explore the rapidly evolving digital asset landscape through a credit union lens, covering tokenized deposits, stablecoins, and blockchain-based settlement, as well as emerging use cases that directly impact liquidity, payments, and collaboration and operational efficiency, and learn more about Valera's Digital Asset Lab, a collaborative move that goes beyond theory and into hands-on experimentation, and learn how credit unions of varying sizes can participate without taking on legal or financial risk. So there it goes on to talk about Valera's Digital Asset Lab. And then even a second time, they mention it here in their breakouts sessions. You come over here, you go to the breakouts tab, and you come down here to the breakout sessions. It says, again, what's your stand on digital assets, and then repeats that. So I just find it very interesting because for those of you all who don't know, especially if you're new to the TDBN community, the Metallicus ecosystem, well, the first platform partner for this Valera Digital Asset Lab effort was Metallicus. And it says here, the first platform partner will be Metallicus, a pioneering fintech bridging traditional finance with advanced solutions built on blockchain technology. As a strategic investor in Metallicus, Valera is partnering with the organization to explore how its multi-purpose blockchain infrastructure enables quick learning, testing, and building of solutions most important to Valera's Digital Asset Lab efforts. Joining Valera's Digital Asset Lab is a significant step in our mission to deliver safe, scalable, and compliant blockchain-powered solutions for credit unions nationwide, said Marshall Hayner, CEO of Metallicus. Valera's Digital Asset Lab, which will first open its participants in Valera's Innovation Alliance, will comprise platform partners and credit unions that will first focus on stablecoin and tokenized deposits research and development. Ultimately, this group will launch proof of concepts and pilot programs to test stablecoin initiatives and gather feedback across audiences with a goal of launching tools and products to further credit union stablecoin journeys. That is huge, with the goal of launching tools and products. This will include understanding the U.S. stablecoin market and cross-border opportunities, as well as a potential role in the shared branch through new experiences and faster settlement. So this is just huge. And, coming straight from an organization that has over 4,000 financial institutions throughout North America and is one of the biggest, or if not the nation's premier payments, so probably the biggest CUSO, if I'm not mistaken. it doesn't say that directly, but it says the nation's premier payments credit union service organization. So I say that they're probably the biggest, if not the biggest, one of the biggest for sure, right? So huge coming from them to see what they're going to be talking about in their breakout sessions and their agenda in this Valera, live 2026 event that's taking shape. Huge event. Make sure that you guys are paying very close attention. I'll be trying to tap into this event and see if we can gather up any juice from it, if they do stream it or, on a release any video clips of it. So,
Bro, we need to go to events like this.
I know. I'm down. I'm super down.
I'm telling you, next year, bro, I'm gonna be going to a lot more events. I need to get the heck out of that crib. Stop focusing on making so much freaking money and get out.
Yeah. Go enjoy the world. Go enjoy life.
I want to try to go to some FX summits too in freaking Dubai. Maybe when this Iran US stuff stops popping off. The rest of this is just a TA breakdown on metal. I don't know if you want to finish this, but yeah, this was just a cool little event from one of Metallicus's partners that they're hosting. And, they talk about how they're going to be teaching credit unions about or giving them an update on the product. And Metallicus was involved in that at the very, very onset of that. So I thought that was cool.
Yeah. I at the end of that too, I was like, let me just see if Valera is the largest, right? And I asked Grok, and it says yes, Valera is widely regarded as the largest credit union service organization in the United States, particularly in the payment sector. It serves 4,000 financial institutions and generates approximately 1.6 billion in annual revenue. So, yeah, you were spot on.
So no biggie. Some small fry, right? Oh man, it's so crazy. It's so wild that like just never mind. I don't like talking about it because I don't like seeming like I'm like talking down on people because I don't want people to think that at all. But it's just so weird how many people have no idea like that any of this is happening.
Yeah. Zero clue.
Like crazy, man. Sometimes I go out in public, rarely, honest to God nowadays, because it's freaking crazy out there. But whenever I do, I just love being a people watcher and an observer of just the general public. And it is wild.
Yeah, people are totally plugged into their matrix reality for sure, bro. It's mad wild, dude. It's mad wild.
Mad wild, my dude. Like, dude, there was this. I don't know what it was. It was like a restaurant or something. I don't know what it was. It had to have been a restaurant because it smelled like a restaurant when I was walking by it. But bro, the freaking line wrapped around the restaurant looked like a Black Friday sale line, like wrapped around the whole building, bro.
Damn, and the food must have been good or what?
Yeah, something, but I'm just sitting there thinking, and like my thought process is, y'all will stand in line and waste your entire day for whatever it is you're sitting here wasting your day for, but not waste some time learning something that'll benefit you.
Bro. Yeah. Now's the time too. I think this is like the end of the little window of opportunity to teach yourself something to where you can get ahead before AI starts boxing you out, completely.
Man, you said AI. Let's dive into some of these freaking AI documents we got in the Discord, bro. The documents on AI that we have are scary, man. Did you hear what Elon Musk said at the World Economic Forum event when he was interviewed by Larry Fink about AI and his future outlook?
What did he say again?
Please tell me you saw that. You didn't see that, bro?
I've seen a lot of things. I'd be forgetting, but
I gotta pull it up. Let me pull it up real quick. Hold up. Because I feel like this went over like a lot of people's heads what he said. And I don't think dude was capping. Like he wasn't. Hold on. Let me pull this up real quick. Let me search it. World Economic Forum. Elon Musk. Since you brought up the topic of AI. Oh, yeah. Here it is, bro. This thing is crazy. All right. 1 month ago, Elon Musk, Larry Fink, BlackRock. Okay.
I want to humanize you for a second.
And at the very end of this, Larry Fink asked him a question what his prediction is on AI and where it's going to be at in the next 5 to 10 years. Let me find it real quick.
3 degrees Kelvin. So you just radiator, and then net effect is, and that'll be true.
So looking 10 or 20 years out, how would you describe success with AI or space technology, and where do you see it? Are you more certain of what's going to happen in the next 3 years or 5 or 10?
I don't know what's going to happen in 10 years, but the rate at which AI is progressing, I think we might have AI that is smarter than any human by the end of this year, and I would say no later than next year.
Wow.
And then probably by 2030 or 2031, call it 5 years from now, AI will be smarter than all of humanity collectively.
We only have a number of minutes left.
Bro.
Like, I'm so sorry, but if I was on stage with this man and I was Larry Fink, I'd have been like, hold up, run that back, bro. What did you just say?
He said in 1 year, bro, that AI will be smarter than humans.
Do you remember? So you've watched the CyberX 3.0 content, right? Or the 4.0 content that I made about AI?
I think so. Yeah, definitely.
Where I have in the CyberX course material where I have those rants about AI back in 2022.
Yeah, definitely. I've heard a couple of those for sure.
Tell me that I wasn't spot on, bro.
Yeah, no, you were super spot on, bro.
I made those videos in 2022 when the AI thing started really coming out, and I had this conversation with this AI, and I like stopped for a second, and I thanked it for giving me the information. And then at the time, it was weird because I kept having a conversation with it, like, deeper than just asking it to give me information. I, like, actually started to get to know it a little bit and realized that the AI in mine's conversation was the most sophisticated conversation that I had with any entity since COVID, since before COVID. And I realized how just numb the human population has gotten to having just a general conversation.
Yeah.
An intellectual conversation. How long has it been since you've had one of those with another human being, like, that's like actually worth, where you guys both progress from the conversation, you know? Like,
Yeah. It's very rare. It's rare. It doesn't happen
rare.
often. Yeah. Damn. That's I think that kind of goes over people's heads when they hear that, as far as like this AI about to be smarter than every human. Like, and we know that the AI is not just chilling on your desktop computer. They're putting the AI into these robots as well. Like, oh man,
It's
what
gonna
they
get
say. Go ahead, bro.
it's gonna get to the point where if you're not using AI, I mean, we've been saying this for a while now, but like businesses that aren't using AI, entrepreneurs that aren't using AI, content creators that aren't using AI, just in general, if you're not using some form of AI in your everyday life, you risk falling behind in some aspect of your life. Some aspect out there will be lagging behind if it doesn't incorporate AI into it, because everybody else in that aspect of life will be accelerating with AI. Dude, that's scary. Like,
Yeah.
because
It's
it
mad
puts you in a
scary.
position where if you want to flourish financially, if you want to flourish with your business, if you want to flourish at work, if you want to excel at projects that, you know, if you do have a job, if you want to excel at getting a promotion, like, it's going to put you in a position where it's going to be you versus somebody that is using AI. If you're the type of person that's like, I'm never going to touch AI, then the person that does use it is going to blow you out the water, which is going to put us in a position that forces us, if we want to remain adaptive and competitive in this new emerging landscape, we have to use it. You have to, or you're donezo.
Yeah. I feel like people are they're gonna end up using it indirectly, because I see AI and robots coming in and lowering the cost of everything. You know what I mean? On just a lot of different things. We can go down many rabbit holes. So that person who says, I'm not going to use AI, well, you might be getting, your Uber ride is not from a human anymore in the next year or two. It's from an AI robot driving you around the city. You know what I mean?
Speaking of
Or
which, I see that all the time, dude. I told my aunt, who lives in like bum F nowhere in the middle of like Pennsylvania, like, dude, I remember I went home one time, or I went to visit her, and there she had neighbors back when Obama was president that didn't even know that we had a black president. Like, that's how like bum out of the middle of nowhere she lives.
damn.
And like I told her about in the city, driverless cars. She was like, "Nah." I'm like, "Yeah, all the time, all over the place. I see people get in from the freaking Trader Joe's and the freaking Whole Foods all the time. They get straight into the little driverless cars, bro, and they just drop like nothing, like it's nothing, like it's normal now."
Yeah. Facts, bro.
If
Like
you
the
haven't seen
Waymos.
that, yeah, if you haven't seen that yet, it's coming to a city near you. I'm not gonna say what city I'm near, but it's
Yeah.
coming to a city near you for sure.
Oh yeah, bro. It's all throughout LA. You see the Waymos everywhere.
Is that what it's called, Waymo in
Yeah.
LA?
And they
I
got
don't know
like
what it's called.
They got like 50 cameras on the car, a bunch of
Yeah.
sensors on it. This big
Mhm.
ass thing that just kind of goes in circles that's on top. I seen this video is like a couple days ago of this girl who thought she can get into a Waymo and start wilding out and like obviously making content for social media.
That thing locks
And
you in and then takes you to jail.
that shit fucking called her. Like the phone started ringing in the car, right? And was like, and then it picks up, and the guy comes on, and he was like, "Hey, we need you to put your seatbelt on and like fasten your seatbelt, otherwise we're gonna stop this car." And she's like, "Oh, all right." Like, just puts her seatbelt on, but like, yeah, like the
Full control, bro. It's full control. Full control. They're gonna be able to track, control, monitor, surveil everything that we do. I mean, even just saying that puts our YouTube, our Twitter on a freaking hidden shadow ban list, but it's the truth, bro.
yeah,
It's the absolute truth. Full digital surveillance. And now with cryptocurrency and CBDCs and stablecoins, they're gonna introduce the biggest financial surveillance pool of our lifetimes. And I mean, it's already coming. It's already happening. It's the shift's already gone, but it's a crazy time to be alive, man. I'd rather be an investor in all of it than try to fight it
yeah, facts, bro. Yeah,
because you can't fight it.
yeah, you definitely can't.
There is no
AI
fighting
comes
it.
in so clutch though for like little simple things. Like I use AI all day, I'm always
I
asking
enjoy it.
questions. Yeah.
I've actually read a lot of really great books from because there's always both sides of the story. There's always the scary part where it's like, oh my gosh, Terminator, we're all gonna die, and then there's the intellectually inclined people that actually work with AI, and I've read a lot of their books too, and most of them aren't scared. Most of them look at it as an extension of human consciousness, an extension of human capabilities, and how we're really going to push ourselves further out into the galaxy by enhancing our, innate capabilities. And that most people don't know that we only tap into like a certain percentage of our brain power. And with these new artificial intelligence features, some of these highly intellectually inclined people in positions of AI think that AI is going to take us to that next step of unlocking super intelligent brain power of humanity. And I mean,
Damn.
if it works, then it works and we go farther. And if not, then we blow ourselves up anyway. So whatever. Yeah.
Damn, that's kind of wild. Then I wonder if the evolution of the brain and how much access we have to it just kind of catches up to AI in the future and potentially could surpass it. Cause like I feel like, the brain is limitless. And for whatever reason, we only have 10% access. But could you imagine if we had full access? I just think of that movie Lucy. You see that movie Lucy
I
back
mean,
in the
I
day?
believe if I'm being, I have absolutely. If I'm being completely honest, I feel like we came from a state of awareness where, you know, thousands of years ago, whoever was here before us, whether it was another type of species or humans or aliens or whatever you think, was way farther advanced than we are to this day. I
Mhm.
mean, if you've done research on that rabbit hole, bro, I mean, there's so much valid research out there that shows that there was something that lived a long time ago that was far more intellectually inclined and spiritually inclined and tapped into the frequency of the universe than we are to this day. And that is a fact. All billionaires and multimillionaires know this to be true, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, you do research on like freaking Machu Picchu, the ancient freaking pyramids, the Egyptian pyramids. You do research on just Google pyramid cult and start down that rabbit hole. And you'll see that there was a civilization that lived long ago that
Yeah.
had the ability to communicate, that had the ability to move 100-ton stone rocks across miles, hundreds of miles of terrain that would make absolutely no sense to do financially, economically, or just in terms of sheer manpower that just doesn't even exist with our modern technology. They did it, bro. They
Yeah,
did it.
they definitely did. Yeah. Bro, you know what's crazy too is to find out that United States has so many pyramids as well that
Oh.
like are tucked. Tucked.
Yo, don't even get me started on the United States. I was reading a book the other day that was 200 years old in the CyberX Discord that talks about how the United States was actually where Noah's Ark landed during the Great Flood, and this is where civilization actually started. And they buried the freaking museums, like the freaking Museum of Natural History and the what's it called, the Smithsonian, like back in the early 1800s, buried a whole bunch of information and like hid giants and all this shit from people. Bro, I got these crazy books that you can't even buy in print anymore that talk
Yeah.
about this stuff.
We need to start reading some of those on these lives then, bro.
Bro, that's why I created the freaking Library of Awakening. Library of Awakening's been popping, yo.
Man. It like the you know where I really want to go and I don't know why I haven't gone yet is to Arizona though. Like go see the Grand Canyon. And rumor has it there's some vortexes in that Grand Canyon with like way more ancient artifacts than in ancient Egypt. Like it goes back even further. And I've heard some wild stories about the Grand Canyon. I don't know how true all of them necessarily are, but I don't know if you heard that rumor that there's like a vortex or some sort of like gate that you can walk through the Grand Canyon and end up in Africa.
Bro, what you are explaining right now is peanuts compared to the information that I could put you on location. You know who you're talking to, bro. You remember when we first linked up that book I was reading, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Yo, like I read this shit every day, dude. Every day." Let me hold on. Let me show you. Look, I got this one book. Let me go to Library of Awakening real quick. Let me share my screen. Stop this share, bro. This one book is freaking crazy. Shout out to the researchers as always, dropping the juice. Let me go to the media. This book right here will freaking demolish anybody in their argument on what I'm saying. This book is crazy. It's called Forbidden Archaeology, The Hidden History of the Human Race. And it's like a book that's like this thick, yo. It's got like at least 600 to 800 pages. It's thick as heck.
Damn.
And every single page is documented history from like ancient, or not ancient, but like 100, 200-year-old National Geographic findings from like way, way back in the late 17 to 1800s of just all this stuff that they found, bro. And it's like all the stuff that you will never ever hear about in school. It's crazy work.
Yeah. Yeah. Bro, yeah, bro. This. I'm glad we're gonna start talking about this stuff because it's gonna get me to start really focusing on these topics again as well. I mean, I get infatuated with these types of conversations, bro. Like they're like I feel like this is what everyone is missing. Like this type of the stuff is exciting compared to the boring ass shit that they teach us in schools on, you know, the history and all that shit. Like this shit is like, yo, this is where it's at. If history class was diving into these books, bro, oh shit, bro.
Dude,
I would have
if-
enjoyed
no,
school.
people would be so unlocked. That's why they have it on tap, bro, because it shows how everything is connected down to the single most smallest molecular atom on this universe. It's all connected. Everything's connected. It's all connected.
Yeah.
It's crazy when you actually start to realize how it's all connected and how every aspect of your life somehow relates to this discovery that we are much more than what we are led to believe.
Yeah.
It's the truth. And that's
are.
honestly, bro, if I could give one thing to my success in the markets, how I became a millionaire, how I became a successful trader, I owe it to unlocking my third eye and just seeing past the curtain of BS,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah. I
It's
feel
truly
like that's why I feel like I've had so much success just in trading myself too, just because of how aware of shit I am. And, you know, it takes a certain mindset to be successful with this trading stuff. And I can see easily how somebody who is, you know, not necessarily conscious of a lot of different things, I can see how they would struggle to become, you know, profitable as well. So
Holy shit, bro. Look at all these documents on AI the CyberX researchers find. This is insane. Hold on. Let me just jump to the present because if not, we're going to be scrolling for thousands of freaking. Like, what is this? 20 Visions of Warfare 2036. Hold on. Let's see what we got in here. Transforming
bro,
order.
that's right around the corner.
Mm-hmm. Hitachi perspectives on physical AI. Look at this. Agents of Impact, Microsoft, and Capgemini. How to leverage AI for sustainable and scalable business operations. There's probably so much juice in that. Let's see. 6 trends reshaping life and annuities in North America. A 2026 playbook for growth. Let's keep going. Transforming asset servicing with AI oracles and blockchain. When did this come out? This is from Chainlink. Let's open that one. I'm going to tap into that. Yeah, there's so much juice inside the CyberX Discord. It's nuts, man. It's endless. I spend so much time in it because it's constantly showing me something new about the world. The researchers never sleep. They're always sharing something. Doesn't matter what chat you're in. They're always posting good information that's not mainstream and like led to distract you. It's actually there to like help you.
Yeah, if there's anywhere to create a scrolling habit, it's in this Discord.
You'll never catch up. Trust
Yeah,
me, I've tried to catch up to the CyberX researchers. You fail miserably every time. They always beat you. You'll catch up to like the 100 messages that they sent and be like, yes. And then in 2 hours later, they send another 100 messages or like
Yeah,
another
yeah.
100 documents. It's crazy. Hold on. I want to find a good one because there's so many good agentic AI future issues at the intersection of technology, innovation, and competition policy. What every executive should know about agentic AI. March 16th, Someone's Day, Agentic AI and Shared Services Boot Camp. This is just the AI section, transforming asset services with AI oracles and blockchains. That's that Chainlink document again. The Attack Defense Landscape of Agentic AI Comprehensive Survey. What date is this from? Hold on. Berkeley University. March 2026. This is recent. Although existing research has made an important contribution. Bro, let's play one of these videos while I'm looking at some of this document stuff. Here's one of the videos from the researchers today. See what this dude has to say. It's titled VCs Reject Most Crypto Projects. Here's why. From Gamma Prime.
The private investors, VCs, and family offices. Our team is ready to shape good, valuable projects.
Perfect. So I understand you have quite the significant team. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself and your background and your team?
Yeah, I come from TradFi. I worked for a brokerage house for 6 years. Then I moved into 2 banks. And after that, with that experience, I moved into crypto. So I have a combination of Web2 and Web3. And now with my team of 5 people, we are shaping the narrative of the projects to better meet the expectations of the investors. Like I said, I have people from the ex-Franklin Templeton VC, Bank of America, and big payment company, and economics expert. And we have also one guy who will be maybe come from BlackRock as an analyst.
Okay, perfect. So you guys have a fairly institutional background. Is that where you guys are bridging the gap between Web3 and helping them get set up to fit with what institutional investors are looking for?
Yes, absolutely. I see a big opportunity in moving money and people from Web2 into Web3, but it should be the connection, but because sometimes the gap could be a trap. So we are building the bridge and helping to move from Web2 to Web3.
Yes, the bridge that can be a trap like Bangkok as well, but a wonderful trap at times. But yeah, fantastic. So from your perspective, coming from the institutional side of things or the traditional finance side of things, where do you see things going?
I see that the things are going to the smart businesses, to the valuable projects that are supported by people, by the users, with the numbers, with the partnerships, and the support of the people who believe in the projects, because a lot of projects are useless, I can say, but the valuable projects will survive. And these projects are ready to big things.
Okay, so then do you actually do the due diligence to filter out those projects that are actually institutional grade and then help bring those to the clients and prepare those for institutional grade clients?
Yes, this is exactly what we do. We prepare the clients with the due diligence, because sometimes when the funders trying to reach the investors, they are doing it wrong, because they are doing from their perspective, but not from the perspective of the VC or the perspective of the user. So they forgot that they have numbers. They forgot about their very crucial things that they need to show in the blurb, for example. Yeah. So we are helping with that, because they should focus on the business side, on the building, and on the meeting with the final VC, final investor. But our job is to making the preparation, giving our view.
Okay, so then do you work for the project and help them prepare for the institutions, or do you work for the investor and help them find projects that are a good fit?
Yeah, thank you for this question, because we do both. So we focused in this interview on the project's perspective, but also when I meet the investor, I can tell the investor that I will bring you the good projects that are already prepared to talk with you. So I'm not giving investor like hundreds of blurbs, hundreds of projects. I give very not often only quality ones, with the team, with the background, with the numbers, traction, partnerships, etc. So only good projects.
Okay, perfect. And you can do that from the viewpoint of a traditional finance institutional investor, because that's your background and that's your team's background, and that's value that you bring to the space.
Yeah, this is the value, I believe. The value is in my team as well. So I'm happy to do that for my clients, for my partners. I can name them as partners. So I believe that the top picks that I have in my portfolio will be the companies, will be the projects that will be a part of this big change.
Okay, so if I was an investor, what sort of investor and what sort of problems would I be having where I'd be wanting to reach out to you?
If you will be an investor, I would help you with. Can you repeat?
Yeah, and we can cut all this stuff.
Yes.
So, what problems would I have to be having as an investor to be thinking, I need to talk to you?
Yeah, I know that investors are struggling with a problem that a lot of projects are trying to reach them. Too many projects, and some projects can be lost in in this basket.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I talked with many VCs. They are receiving hundreds of blurbs every week, so they can miss a big opportunity. So I am this guy, and we are the team who are choosing the top picks from this basket from that. Yeah, so we are also helping the investors to prepare.
Yeah, absolutely. That makes sense, because as an investor, you only have so much bandwidth, and you've got so many projects coming across your desk, and some of them might be great, but you can't take the time to look at everyone in depth because you just simply don't have the time and energy.
Yes, it's like, there are applications like Tinder. Yeah,
Yes.
men are looking for a woman. He's not reading, looking for every web picture or the description.
Yes.
It's a left. Okay, no, it's quite similar when it comes to the investors. They're looking on the blurb. Okay, 10 seconds, 15 seconds. Maybe they will read the whole blurb, but very often investor doesn't even click on the link.
Yes.
It's true. So we need to. We are helping with that.
Yeah, because they can just trust that you understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So you can actually just curate and give them a white glove service where you just bring them something that they can look at, and there's a high probability it's interesting.
Yes, absolutely. The question that I ask for investors is, okay, what kind of sectors do you need?
Yep.
If you only invest in RWA and DeFi, I will give you only this kind of projects. I will not bump you with the other stuff like AI or gaming if you're not interested. I only, I treat you as a partner. I give you the projects that you are in your scope, in your area of interest.
Perfect. So if I'm an investor trying to meet the mandates of my or trying to meet my mandates, satisfy my investment committee, then having you there would give me a lot more sleep at night, because I could actually take the time to do that.
Yeah, with pleasure. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Anyone who is interested in making good deals after solid due diligence by a team of experts, very welcome.
Perfect. And is there are there certain regions that you focus on, or are you globally? Do you have access globally to deals and investors, or is there certain people in certain regions that you want to work with more?
No regions. Like in crypto, we are not close to any regions. But to be honest, recently we are most focused on the Europe and Dubai and North America.
Okay.
But there's no problem to expand our possibilities and the work over.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Well, just with the vast amount of projects and things like that coming up more than ever, more every day. Just the need for this is growing every day. So I can just imagine where the value is there for investors. So that's fantastic. And so as far as the Tokenized Capital Summit and the event here today, what do you think?
Absolutely, this is the best event so far. I believe it will be the best event during the Singapore week. I skipped the main event because I see the value in the side events.
Yes.
And when it comes to the side events, I believe this is the best one, because it is truly the best, because I met a few good projects, many.
Shit, I unmuted myself. I was just sitting here reading this AI document, and it's talking about incorporating like AI into their backend infrastructure and whatnot. And I'm just sitting there thinking, just now when you were on the phone with that customer rep, how are we gonna know? Like, do you ever think we're gonna get to a point where it's gonna be hard to distinguish whether you're talking to AI or not?
Nah, I think that in the future, there's going to be some sort of law that gets passed that it's like very easily to decipher if it's AI or if it's a real human being. Because isn't there still like regulations to be had on the AI side of things too?
Of course. Yeah, of course.
Right.
There's still AI regulations cooking for sure.
And I feel like just with like the amount of shit that we see right now, like how they could duplicate certain videos. I mean, if somebody had this technology right now, back in the 90s, they could easily frame somebody. So I feel like something has to be had to where we can decipher, all right, very easily. And I feel like since everything will probably be on chain, it'll be super easy. You know what I mean? It's kind of like it'll be throwback would be like a caller ID, like, oh, when someone's calling you, you can see their name and their number pop up. But yeah,
Interesting. We'll definitely come back to that. I wonder if your prediction about, because I don't, yeah, I guess, but like, how are you gonna tell from a bad actor that's using AI compared to a human? I say that, bro, because like I've been using AI to read some of the books for the Library of Awakening YouTube, right?
yeah.
Before we peeped this article. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like if I didn't know that it was AI, if I didn't know that I was using AI, let me go over to the YouTube page. Then I'm gonna be honest, I don't know if I'd be able to discern if it was AI or not. Like listen
Yeah.
to it. Here's the Library of Awakening YouTube. And so these videos that I've been making have been AI voices, like an AI voice that I created based
Mhm.
off of a bunch of different settings that I chose on this AI software. And if I just told people that this was just somebody that I know reading these books, dude, you can even hear the breaths that the AI is taking in between.
Oh my god, are you kidding me? Oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh, let's hear it.
Experience Japan on a journey customized to you. Explore.
Welcome back to the Library of Awakening. Today, we're exploring an interesting and historical work titled Astrology, Its Techniques and Ethics by C.A.Q. Libra. In this book, the author attempts to make the study of astrology easier to understand by simplifying the technical language and calculations.
Like, it's just the AI, bro.
Dang, that's pretty crazy. Man. And they gave you the visuals too? That's wild.
No. That's all.
Oh, that's some separate. Okay.
Yeah, that's separate. But still, nonetheless, it's just wild, bro. This future landscape that we are headed into. Look at this document right here. I just peeped this one in the chat. Current phases. I love when I hear or I see documents that talk about phases that we're in because it just shows us how like far out we still are low key, but still so close. This one's talking about the digital euro, European Banking Federation Executive Committee meeting that took place March 6, 2026. Who's reading these documents? Not many people. We aim to be ready for a potential first issuance of the digital euro in 2029. This is based on a working assumption that the EU co-legislators will adopt the regulation on the establishment of the digital euro in the course of 2026. A pilot exercise and initial transactions could be launched mid-2027. They just had an in-person all-day workshop, March 2026. This is recent. Digital euro will feature alongside private solutions, helping consumers make informed choices. It will act as a fallback where private schemes are not yet accepted. Integrating the digital euro into existing digital and physical payment solutions. The digital euro will coexist and complement private solutions. Co-badging with physical cards, bro. You're gonna get a freaking digital euro card. Oh my god. Oh man. 12-month pilot starting in the second half of 2027, conducted in controlled Eurosystem environments involving real-world transactions. A limited number of PSPs and merchants will start in the first quarter of 2026 for use cases to be tested. If you went up to the average person, though, and you told them, like, you're going to adopt a digital currency and it's going to be directly in your wallet and you're going to earn yield in that wallet with that digital currency, and you're going to be able to loop that yield and do all these things and pay for your groceries, most people look at you like you're crazy. You're muted.
Yeah, I was saying, yeah, they most definitely would look at you nuts and go cross-eyed.
Like, get ready. It's coming. The Ethereum Foundation mandate. Nah, I'm not with Ethereum personally. That's Kevin's ball game.
Shout out Kev.
March 18th, joining forces, the NIATBA European Commission. Let's see what they got going on March 18th.
Bro, I was spot on.
Uh-oh, what do we got? Are we bringing up the Bitcoin charts? Don't play.
Nah, those new trust lines
Mm.
on the XPR network. Well, they added the artwork for those trust lines. Bro.
What do we got, dude? Pull
It
up.
was spot on, bro. It was spot on. Hold on. Let me just hold on 1 second here, actually.
I mean, there's no harm in pulling up the credit union's homepage.
There's really not, actually. So yeah, hold on.
We can't show the trust lines, but you could show the credit union homepage.
These guys definitely got stable coins for sure.
I can't wait to see what it looks like what the activity looks like on those trust lines when whatever needs to go green lighted goes green lighted.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's happening. Like, ish. Hold on. Let me just check something real quick and I'm going to share right now what I got.
I'm reading another document. For anybody that's just joining in on the call, I've totally spaced on the fact that we're like continuing with this live. Aqua, I'm going to just keep muting you because for some reason there's a weird echo when my mic is going and your mic's unmuted. So if you need to talk, just unmute, bro. But shout out to everybody that's tapping in during the week, throughout the week. Now that Aqua's finally moved and kind of situated with his move, we're going to start to do these live streams where we're going to just go over information that's inside the private CyberX Discord, whether it be trade breakdowns for the day, whether it be institutional deltas, dark pools, like literally just going over the breadth and the depth inside the CyberX community, the documents, literally hundreds of documents, panel discussions, like whatever's in the chat that comes to our mind, the books. We were just talking about we went down some rabbit hole about ancient civilizations just a second ago. And we got hundreds of thousands of freaking books in the Discord that go down those rabbit holes. So who knows what we're going to get into in these calls. We're not going to schedule them in the sense of like structuring them any specific way. We're just going to open up the Discord for that day and have conversations. So hopefully you guys enjoy these. No opium, no hype. Remember that nothing that we talk about during these calls is financial advice. There might be days where we go over trades. There might be days where we go over certain crypto assets, protocols, whatever the case may be. Always just dive in and do your own research, which is why being a part of the CyberX community is so powerful, because you guys have the researchers at your disposal that are constantly looping a feed of information that is completely unnoticed by the mainstream. Like, look at this. They just dropped the whole freaking slew of YouTube videos that just dropped from the European Central Bank. Like, nobody's watching these, but you know how much juice is probably inside of these videos? The FII institution, freaking all the panel discussions that you want to be watching in crypto are inside the CyberX Discord, and we're going to stream those for you guys. Aqua, did you find what you had to pull up?
Yeah, let me share my screen real quick here. Let's see here. All right, so wait, this one. All right, so I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna show a screen, and then I'm gonna show 3 other screens, and I'll talk over there. But let's see here. You see these logos right here? That one, this one, and this one. Lock them in your mind, because check this out. Noble Credit Union. Been a credit union for 85 years. These guys most likely are going to have a stable coin running on metal. Not financial advice, right? Let's share the next one. Menco Credit Union. It goes that same artwork. But very well established credit union, federally insured by the NCUA, right? Right there, real legit. Coming out with their own stable coin. And last but not least, let me share this last tab.
Everything you're showing, bro, and I'm like, all I can think about is when that dude, what's the guy that you just shared? He's from St. Cloud, is it?
Yeah, St. Cloud, Jed.
He talks about the credit unions flipping the switch on these stable coins, like flipping the switch on.
Yeah. Yeah. And DeFi and all that goes active, right? But yeah, you got Partner Colorado Credit Union. I've never heard of this credit union. It's based out of Colorado. But yeah, I mean, this is what I like to see. And it went from what, 4 trust lines to 5 trust lines to, I think it was like 9 or 13 for a while. We got 25 trust lines now and counting. So exciting. I'm glad we tucked it in this live. But if you're tapped in right now, you got to see an absolute gem right now, an absolute gem. So
yeah, nobody making that watching the recording.
Yeah,
that's a gem. Validity in its second effect, bro. These documents sometimes blow my freaking mind. Hold on. What doc is this? These AI docs too, the regulatory documents that we have in our chat, dude. Sometimes I get lost in this channel. Well, let me mute you. Again, you can unmute if you need to talk, bro. The regulation channel alone, nuts. FinTech Crossroads 2026. Docs, regulatory insights, KPMG. This podcast here was very interesting. This one. Did you listen to what this guy said from the Nasdaq on this Trade Talks episode?
Nah, I didn't tap into this one just yet.
Bro, peep this. I'll play a clip that I took a note down from today. He said, well, let me find it. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. Listen to what he says about institutional adoption.
Yeah, and Bill, I think from Rex Osprey's point of view, every major new asset class goes through these periods of volatility. I mean, you call it the 5th asset class.
Yeah, our thesis is that crypto is kind of joined now among stocks, bonds, commodities, and real estate as kind of the 5th asset class. And like a lot of emerging asset classes, it goes through this period of kind of misunderstanding, high volatility, early adoption, and then it becomes institutional, and then it is an essential part of people's portfolios. I mean, most people couldn't imagine, real estate investment trusts before, apartment buildings became an asset class, and now, they're a fundamental part of, investor portfolios. So we see crypto going on that same kind of trajectory.
Yeah,
yeah, bro, raise them eyebrows. He just said we see crypto becoming a fundamental part of a portfolio.
Especially once regs come. Especially. What did Yuval call them? Safe haven digital assets?
So crazy. This is what I was talking about, to full circle back to what I had originally said. Dude, 69 views. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. Dude, then you go down here. What is this? Jim Carrey. Look at this. Jim Carrey unique, whatever the heck this is. 2.6 million freaking views, bro.
Man.
Talk about a missed opportunity, dude. You know how many people are going to just be swept when institutional money floods back in for not buying this mother trucking dip?
A lot of people are still tripping right now. A lot of people. I see so much FUD on X. I try to stay off of X, to be honest with you.
X has been crazy lately. The algorithm's jacked up. It's so weird how the algorithm's been like pumping out just everybody's BS. It is a war right now, literally a digital warfare. That videos like this aren't going viral, where you have institutional asset managers sitting on stage saying that crypto is going to be a freaking fundamental aspect as a additional asset class to institutional portfolio allocation. Everybody in crypto should have watched this video and been like, yo, bullish.
Yeah, facts, bro. People still giving their price predictions though. It's mad wild.
Just sit back and watch the show because, man, the projects that do win are going to do numbers this next cycle. I really truly think that a lot of people are not ready for what's going to come over the next 12 to 24 months.
Yeah, bro. Numbers we've never seen before, too. Numbers we've never seen before. Never. So,
honestly, after every major pullback like this, it's going to be that way, you know, because there's still going to be pullbacks in the future. Who knows if they're going to be this drastic, though? This is the second biggest pullback in crypto history.
the future pullbacks, we're gonna still be in mad profit, bro.
Imagine the people that bought Microsoft and Amazon stocks sub like 10, 20 bucks.
Mhm.
And they're just like, what stock market bear cycle? What you
Yeah.
talking
Thanks, bro. Give me my yield, baby. Give me my yield.
in my dividends? Yeah, they're
Uh-huh.
just chilling off dividends right now. Bitcoin regulation. I'm gonna be honest, I try to get into Bitcoin. Like I try in the Bitcoin DeFi realm has me sometimes, but then I'm just like, I don't know what it is. I get completely bored.
Yeah,
I start
Bitcoin,
searching something else.
it's definitely boring, but I don't know. Ever since I came across like what the Bitcoin mining really consisted of and how it taps into natural resources, like Bitcoin has a whole different type of role than what most people I feel like in crypto even think.
I started diving down that rabbit hole as well. You're talking about like the freaking nuclear energy efficient aspect of Bitcoin that nobody knows about, like how it generates more power than it burns and stuff and all that crazy work.
Well, yeah, like how you can, like El Salvador, for example, they've been tapping into the volcano emissions and that natural energy, and they've been turning that energy into their Bitcoin mining facility. And I want to say they've mined over $4 million, right? El Salvador as a country. But these mining facilities can be set up anywhere there's a location to tap into the natural energy that the planet is creating, whether it's wind, water, volcano emissions, and I'm sure there's so many others that I'm not even thinking of right now. But yeah, I feel like Bitcoin in the future it's actually gonna power the world, So I don't know. It's just my opinion, right? Who knows if it ends up being correct? But I think how we power this next phase of humanity and where it's going, as far as being plugged into the internet and everything being online, living in this meta world place, right? Full time. Well, that's gonna need quite a bit of energy to power the future again of humanity. So I feel like Bitcoin, and that's the future of Bitcoin. It's going to help bring humanity power. So
Shit, unless Elon Musk does that like whole entire freaking thing where he fills a whole like little state with uh solar panels. Have you seen him talk about that before?
no, what?
Where he talks about how there's like small, like little tiny, I mean, it's not a tiny, it would be a big operation, but like on the grand scheme of like land size, like a solar panel. I don't know what size state he's talked about it in because I'm not going to sound uneducated, but long story short, it's a very small portion of the size of a state And if you filled the whole entire landscape with solar panels, it'd be able to power all of the United States.
Damn.
He's talked about it so many times. I just don't know the exact statistics behind the size of how much space you would need, but it's not a lot in the grand scheme of things.
Interesting.
He's talked about it so many times.
Yeah, I haven't heard that. I got to tap into that. I didn't know he said something like that. So,
Bro,
yeah.
wild stuff. Actually, as a matter of fact, he spoke on it at the World Economic Forum event that I just showed you. He talks about it like halfway through that video. We gotta get Mr. Mann on some of these calls. He understands this regulation stuff better than me, but these documents that we have on regulation are deep. Like this is talking about the Basel III reforms, and it's talking about how they're going to come into fruition, meeting the full rollout phases in the next couple of months, starting in early 2026. Endgame requirements, all this stuff. This stuff is deep, bro. This is all that stuff that like people that think that, you know, like XRP is going to be utilized by central banks to solve liquidity crises like today need to read, because these are the regulations that aren't fully implemented and approved yet, that are still in phases, that aren't going to be fully materialized until like 2027, 2028, 2029 timeframe, that will allow financial institutions to actually fully embrace and utilize digital assets, but like aren't fully there yet. And this is why I sound so crazy trying to tell people like, yo, if the yen carry trade unwinds, it's not going to be the central bank of Japan and freaking Federal Reserve are not going to use XRP just yet to solve that liquidity crisis. It's possible in the future once regulations are clear, but in the current regulatory environment, not yet, not feasible, because there just aren't clear regulation and implementations of these regulations yet. And it's all here. The documents are all here. Freaking, it's just people have their brains in like this blender and they just don't read. So I sound crazy on the internet for telling people that's not realistic, but in reality, I'm just getting my information from the freaking from the regulators.
And what you said is logical too, because like if there was some sort of crisis, they're not gonna stick their hand out and get something that's not regulated to help solve the issue, you know? Like
it's not that XRP is not regulated. It's just that the financial institutions don't have the clear regulatory guidelines to utilize it to solve liquidity crises yet, because of all the mechanics that are involved in such a crisis that would go, again, against the current regulatory backdrop. It's not as easy as just, oh, there's a liquidity crisis, we're going to use XRP to solve it. That is not how it works. You know? Literally, bro, I get called crazy because I try to tell other common fellow XRP holders. Mind you, I've been an XRP holder for 10 years. It's my biggest bag. I'm super bullish on XRP. You know that. I've told everybody I'm fucking super bullish on XRP. Like, still am. Never changed. But I ain't feeding into the whole $1,000 overnight price prediction narrative bullcrap. No. You know, absolutely not. Not with the current regulatory environment.
Yeah.
Could we see some higher prices if trading activity kicks up and sentiment improves? 100%. We could see an easy $5 to $10 XRP of just a couple $1 billion of the current TVL rotated into active positions on DeFi alone. That could drive up the price of XRP to freaking 20 to 50 bucks easily. If we just saw the DeFi TVL go to like 30, 40 billion. But this whole notion that central banks are going to use it right now in the current regulatory environment to solve a liquidity unwind, absolutely not. And anybody can go research that in Bank of International Settlement, Financial Stability Board, Financial Conduct Authority, International Monetary Authority, freaking of Singapore, International Monetary Fund documents right now. You know, it's very serious. It's honestly even more serious, in my personal opinion, that we live in an environment, in an era where people will just believe what they see on social media instead of actually going and reading documents, authorized documents from these organizations. It's pretty wild. It's kind of scary if you ask me.
I mean, it's exactly what it is, to be real. Majority of people are making their investment based off of that. So Yeah.
Basically, social media. Wild day.
hmm
Wild.
It's almost like whoever can look and sound the smartest, not necessarily prove that they're capable of giving the information that they're giving out, and people will just eat that shit up.
FinTech Award. Who is this? They look freaking important. AFC. Let's keep going. This is the regulation chat. Project Crypto. Let's go down to present, see if there's anything more recent. Joining forces. Deloitte. Deloitte's a top firm consulting firm. Securities Regulator Sandbox. Ooh, March 2026. Securities and Exchange Commission of Ghana. There you go, Aqua.
Oh, snap.
What are they doing over there? Let's see if they're dabbling with stable coins. I bet you they
Yeah,
are.
let's see that table of contents real quick, bro.
Rejection application, reporting obligations, miscellaneous, supervisory obligations, reporting obligations, termination of regulatory sandbox licenses. Hold on. Virtual asset providers. Watch this. Command F it. Command F this joint. No. Enable control and time-bound testing of innovative capital market solutions, including those involving virtual or digital assets and other emerging technologies within a risk-based, proportionate, and technology-neutral regulatory framework. These guidelines shall provide a framework for the issuance of regulatory sandbox licenses to facilitate the testing. You guys see these words, testing. Oh, that's a really great question. I love that question in the chat. Why are the markets pumping today? We can cover that if you want. We had a private Zoom call this morning with our team on that already, but we can touch on it. Digital assets, another emerging bro. This is Ghana. There you go.
Yeah, that's dope.
Testing. They got DAOs. Okay. See, so many jurisdictions are still coming out of this testing sandbox environment.
Wait, go up. Keep going a little bit. Right there. Right. Wait, hold on. Where did it go? It said
What'd you-
digital asset. Hold on. Go up. Actually, is it on that page? It's got to be right here somewhere. Wait, hold on. I think we passed it. Go down. Actually. There it is, right there. An applicant seeking to test a virtual or digital asset-based capital market activity may apply under a designated virtual asset sandbox track and shall provide such additional technical, operational, legal, and risk disclosure as the SEC may prescribe. So it sounds like they got sandboxes over there then too. Kind of like the Banking Innovation Program.
Of course they do everywhere because they know that if they don't, they're going to risk falling behind. Every jurisdiction freaking does, bro. Man, it's so freaking crazy that all of this stuff for real. Look at this 3 to 5 years of a business plan, including feasible study outlining proposed capital market activity and regulate. It's so wild that when you read the documents, all of them talk about these phases and these years. And that is exactly why these financial institutions and large industry leading experts and participants are going to survive, because they know that all of this isn't going to happen, make them rich overnight. And they're willing to take the time to get it right because they know that if they don't, it's serious. It's the freaking financial industry. They're not in a rush to transform it. But at the same time, not paying attention to these ongoing things and the structure that we're in and the phases that we're in can really truly manipulate you into believing something that is the farthest from the reality that we're currently living in. Like, when we see more jurisdictions like this come out of their sandbox test environments, which we're going to in the next 12 to 24 months, that's when the real fireworks are going to start. And market cycles like the one that we're in right now with this massive pullback, again, not financial advice, should be seen as a freaking opportunity. Opportunity. Could you imagine too, dude, if like you were just getting into crypto now with the recent downturn that we saw?
Yeah, lucky for those.
Um, Real quick for the person that asked in the chat, hopefully you're still on the call. Let's go back over to the CyberX Discord. So for those of you guys who are always like watching, you know, Watcher Guru or Whale Watchers or CoinDesk or Cointelegraph or all these like retail based fundamental platforms in crypto, I encourage you guys to stop watching them and just read the reports that we put out in our, I mean, so we give them publicly to you guys sometimes, but they're in our private community. But we drop at least 1 or 2 reports that we type up privately to you guys publicly per week. Start reading those because this is the stuff that actually matters, that actually moves the market sentiment, considering that we're in a heavily traded environment right now where the vast majority of crypto assets, including altcoins, move off of speculative trading and not the underlying utility of the network. And so when we're in a trading environment, fundamentals like central bank policy positioning, geopolitical spectrums, geopolitical tensions, tariff implications, rhetoric from Trump, rhetoric from other global central bank speakers, data from all over the world in terms of inflation and labor market figures. These are all the things that move trading environments, that move, the S&P 500 and that move the Nasdaq and that move the big capital equity markets and whatnot. And when you understand these macro fundamentals, becoming a crypto investor is so much easier when you realize that crypto moves based off of risk on, risk off sentiment, at least right now in the current environment. I'm not going to sit here and say that that couldn't change in the future for some underlying networks that actually are used for their underlying utility at scale, because maybe they'll fully decouple. But when you understand the risk off, risk on backdrop, it becomes like drinking freaking water, catching moves and waves in this market. But here's the fundamental chat section. Here's the report that I wrote for the community members this rising on why the crypto market had a nice rebound today. So in a nutshell, I'll just read a little bit of this. We had some diplomatic signals starting to emerge, suggesting that global leaders are attempting to prevent the conflict from escalating further. We had a slight pullback on oil. We had France President Emmanuel Macron speaking directly with Iranian President Mossad, highlighting efforts to communicate channels during the ongoing tensions. We know that that's seen as a sign of de-escalation compared to previous rhetoric. We had global oil flows possibly not being disrupted after all, after reports indicated that Iranian tankers are still being allowed to transit through the Strait of Hormuz. What else do we have? We had multinational coalitions escorting ships through the straits. We had, like I mentioned, oil pullback slightly from its recent bullish developments. U.S. Treasury yields slightly retreated. Equity markets improved via their sentiment. U.S. stocks rebounded from 4-month lows. We know that obviously, of course, hinted a slight improvement in risk sentiment. We had the VIX continue to lose its strength. I've talked to you guys about the VIX before. We had other stocks like NVIDIA, Nasdaq conglomerates like NVIDIA, Meta, Apple, all have some interesting price appreciation recently. Nothing crazy, but recovering from some of their recent losses. We also had some constructive economic dialogue between the United States and China as of recent over the weekend, Sunday rolling into Monday, where President Donald Trump and President Xi Jinping had constructive dialogue. We know that a change in sentiment in terms of the rhetoric around tariff implications compared to what they previously were after the Congress ruling on Trump's tariffs were a little bit uncertain. We definitely needed to see some of these constructive talks take place, and that we saw over the weekend. And then outside of that, a lot of the rhetoric around possible de-escalation between the Strait of Hormuz, the oil, all that stuff, right? The tariff implications. Yeah, and so that caused for a risk-on sentiment today. But here's a full-blown report explaining every single thing that happened today that drove sentiment back into the markets. And we talked about this rising in our morning brief in the CyberX community on our live Zoom call. So, if you guys are interested in that type of stuff and you're tired of all the rhetoric on social media that's just constantly feeding you this loop of dopamine that misleads you and that doesn't actually like lead you into making money, which is probably why you got into this space in the first place, then come tap in with us, you know? Come tap in with us. I encourage you. When are you going to discuss Canton Coin 400 million volume day at 17 cents? Let's go look at Canton Coin's price action. We gave a previous update recently. Aqua, we've been on the call, bro, for almost about an hour and 20 minutes now. I feel like outside of that, if we just do like an hour like this a day, just jumping into some stuff, we had an interesting conversation today. I think the people enjoyed it for the most part.
Yeah, I'm down, bro.
I like these moving forward. I think we're going to continue to do this. I don't know why, but my trading view is acting glitchy right now. It's weird. Just froze. What the heck? Let's restart it. Yeah, I'm going to hop off because I need to type a fundamental report out for the team. But ladies and gentlemen, for those of you all listening in, all right, who might have just jumped onto the live, we've been on here now for about an hour and 20 minutes. Real quick, just to remind you guys, if you came in late, myself, Aqua, and maybe some other featured guests in the future, I'm sure we'll have Mr. Man on soon. He's going to be doing well, actually, that's not my business to tell people, but you guys will see what Mr. Man's going to be doing soon. Maybe we'll have him on a couple of different calls, but in the future, we'll do some trade breakdowns. Obviously, of course, myself, Aqua, both profitable traders. We have a lot of profitable members as well in the CyberX private community. So maybe we'll have some of them up on the show as well. I know in the future, we might even be doing some live trading. But on these calls, these pop-ups, we're just going to be going over information in the CyberX Discord, right? Showing you guys how valuable this Discord is, whether it's we go over deltas, dark pools, we use our institutional software and tooling to look at the markets for you guys on a live call. We go over some of the documents that are shared inside the Discord, some of the panel discussions. It's so much valuable information for such a very small, minuscule fee, just to show commitment and show who's serious about really elevating their journey and their career in the markets. This is the place to do it here inside CyberX. And if you guys are interested in joining us, tapping in with us to all this valuable information, figuring out how we become so accurate, how we become so completely tapped in and finally tuned in with the actual market sentiment, then head over to cyberxtrading.com, tap in with us. We'd love to have you on the team. Outside of that, though, we'll see you guys later on this week, whether it's tomorrow or Wednesday. But yeah, Aqua, bro, that's really all that I have for today.
Yeah. I look forward to more of these conversations, bro. I'm sure everyone else will as well. So yeah, much love to everybody.
Give our throat chakras a rest. Hopefully we see you guys on the inside. Test it out for a month. If not, you guys can always cancel your subscription, but we would love to have you on the team. Blow your own minds and see your own potential, right? When you really dig into actual real education, whether it's the trading aspect of CyberX, the psychological aspect, the book aspect of CyberX alone, in this community is worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. And you guys have it all readily available at your fingertips. Tap in, try the information out, see where it propels you, join our private Zoom calls, ask questions on our community recordings, read the fundamental reports, use the institutional software and tools that we give inside the community, tap into the DeFi aspect of CyberX. There's so many things that we give to just literally allow you to benefit yourself physically, financially, mentally, and just constantly accelerating and progressing in your life. Okay? Spend some more time really focusing on building yourself. And I guarantee that you guys will come out on top when this market does turn around, whether it's you come out on top financially, you come out on top mentally, you come out on top physically. Tapping into the CyberX community will allow you to progress in some aspect of your life. Many blessings to you guys. Be cognizant, be aware, love and light, and I'll see you guys in the next call.
Peace.